What up, Dokkanners? Cell Max is coming up next on the JP side of the game. I know. Were you expecting this? I sure wasn't. So let's discuss. First of all, whenever it comes to these sort of hint reveals on Dokkan, I always like to present alternative theories, alternative ideas. So if you would kindly indulge me in this game, let me go over a couple of alternate ideas. Cell Max is obviously the very obvious one because this looks like the little tubular containment unit that Cell Max kind of falls out of after jumping out of the incubation thing. And, you know, the water falling out of the side, it very obviously looks like Cell Max, and everybody is saying it. I mean, we got all the people saying it. We have an asset in game that also is like from Cell Max, whatever Cell Max's eventual intro animation would look like. Makes all the sense in the world. But allow me to indulge in a little bit of what if. All right, what if it was bathtub Majin Buu? I am going to laugh if it ends up being this. If you can think of any other possible theories, do let me know in the comments. Just play my game. Is there any other like reasonable guess besides Cell Max for this? The only ones that I could think of would be Boo in a tub, maybe a swimsuit character. Y'all Roshis out there who have been yearning for a swimsuit character, I will get this comment maybe once every 2 or 3 streams. Hey Toon, what if we get a swimsuit character? Do you think Dokkan should do swimsuit waifus? So what if this actually was a swimsuit waifu? You never know. Maybe Marin finally shows up on Dokkan. Or perhaps this is more of an abstract thing. You see the water is overflowing, so maybe Kefla is overflowing with power. This actually, as abstract and stupid as that may sound, in the context of what the part 1 is, LR Kefla as a super boss part 2 makes a lot of sense. But then again, so does Cell Max. Cell Max is a super boss, with Goku Black Rose being the super boss's lead in part 1. Cell Max being a part 2 does fit that category. So this does work. So what this asset is, for those of you who might be coming into this cold and you might be confused as to why this asset already is in the game, Proton is not leaking this. Nobody is leaking this. This is an asset that has already existed in the game since 2022. This released back when the Cell Max event first came out. So I was looking at the Dokkan Wiki, August 20th, 2022. This event came out for both versions of the game at the same time. This event was the event to beat. Nobody could beat this event on their first try or their second try or their third try. It was a dogfight. This event took people for a loop. This is actually one of the reasons why nowadays during newer events, I will usually open with the power of money, and then I will afterwards use weaker teams, because I don't ever want to experience the heart-shattering devastation that I experienced against Cell Max. You should go back and watch my video. I did drop my first video experiencing Cell Max for the first time. Phase 1, no problem. Phase 2, no problem. Phase 3, I ate like 60 billion damage. I had never seen numbers go that high in my life. And I'm pretty sure in my video, I was dumbfounded and I just froze for like 5 seconds. Pretty sure there was just like pure silence in my video. This event wreaked havoc in the Dokkan world. Even to this day, I would argue that this event is still very, very difficult, because if you don't know how to kind of navigate around, it's going to be tough. Plus, you can only use a Senzu Bean. You can't use Whis. You can't use a Ghost Usher. Only a certain number of categories provide extra damage, but even those weren't around when this event first came out. So this was a very, very difficult event. But what I'm saying is, in this event, I'm pretty sure it was this one, either this one or some story event that was relevant. When this event came out, this was an opening, or this was like a cutscene that was in one of the scenarios. I don't know if anyone, I'm sure some of you do, where you have the scenarios turned on. You can actually see the dialogue, what the characters are saying before you actually jump into the event. This played along with it. So this was your introduction to Cell Max. Normally, you would get this as an attachment to a summonable character, and then those assets would be reused on story events. Case in point, recently JP had the Dragon Ball story event revamp for the Resurrection F, right? The Resurrection F, in one of the intro, or like in one of the cutscenes, they used the Int Goku Blue, the Int Resurrection F Blue's story introduction. They used that effect on the, man, where is it? This one. They used the Int Resurrection F Blue's Goku intro scene as one of the cutscenes for one of these levels, which is pretty cool. It's another way to advertise that animation. Maybe you want that, you think it's cool, like, hey, I want a character that can use that. And we'll look no further, you've got the Int Resurrection F Blues right here, summon on this event. So they've done that in the other way. So them doing it in this order is a little bit unconventional, but since this release, people have been yearning for a Cell Max. So it is nice that it is finally dropping, and it is good for Super Boss fans that this is dropping, because this fits. if we look at the boss data for the Cell Max, actually I have it right here. Cell Max is a movie boss, super boss, so that fits Broly's leader skill, Battle of Fate, artificial life forms, and androids. So the only 200% leader skill that applies right now is the Broly, no Goku Black. Goku Black does not fit at the 200% level because Goku Black leads like Explosion of Anger, Realm of Gods, and Accelerated Battle or something like that. So that doesn't quite work. Although wait, why isn't this guy accelerated? No, I know why. He's not Perfect Cell. Perfect Cell is Accelerated Battle. This is not Perfect Cell. This is Second Form Cell. So that's why he's not Accelerated Battle. I'm sure some people would probably be wondering why there's no Giant Form. I don't know, to be honest. He should be Giant Form, but maybe they're going to construct the character as not a Giant Form character. They have done similar things in the past. The example that I can show you is the Fat Janemba. Fat Janemba is definitely a Giant Form character, so there is no reason for this character to not be Giant Form other than Super Janemba not being Giant. So if this character exists, it's precedent. It's kind of like, it's funny, it's kind of like law. All you need is one precedent in the past, and then you can justify anything else happening in the same way. So because this character exists and is not a Giant Form character, Cell Max doesn't have to be a Giant Form character. That's all. Does anybody really care in the end? Probably not, because are you actually going to be using a Giant Form team? I don't think that we have enough Giant Form characters yet to really care about that. And the only ones that really exist that are good would be, what? Orange Piccolo? What other Giant Form character out there is really, really good right now that I'm not thinking of? Baby Vegeta, LR EZA. Anybody else? I don't know. Let me know. I don't think so. So this character being just these categories, I'm totally fine with it. What the typing is going to be, what all the other stuff is going to be, we'll have to wait and see. But that's all that we know for the character. Now, I want to talk about this, because this is something that I'm sure some people are probably going to be discussing in the comments. When could Global conceivably receive Cell Max? Global could be getting Cell Max as early as potentially the EX part during the anniversary, according to Global Dokkan, Air Dokkan. This is not based on anything tangible. This is merely speculation from one person. So don't take this as confirmation. This is not gospel. We will elaborate on this theory, but this is not anything more than just a theory. So if we look at the anniversary schedule for Global, right? We've got part 2 coming up. We still don't know what it is. Then we've got the anniversary. In the anniversary itself, we've already actually received some of the content. We got the LR Vegito EZA and the LR Bootanks EZA. Cell Max gets the part 2 stage during part 2. I don't know if you guys knew that. The second stage of Cell Max is going to be dropping during part 2. Let me actually find it. Here it is. So over the years, we had August 2022, we had October 2022, December 2022, and then all the way till now, February 25th, 2022. That is when JP received the second stage of Cell Max. So this is probably going to be even tougher than the first stage. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. This might be the new toughest stage in the game right now. I don't even know. I'm a global player. I've not been checking how the events have gone for JP players. JP players, feel free to chime in. So with this dropping close to the end of part 2, actually, wow, 25th is when it came out. 10 days after part 2 starts. When does the banner drop? Banner drops at the beginning of part 2. Wow. Okay. So this goes on from the 15th until the 4th of March. So when does part 3 start? Part 3 was Part 3 was March 1st. So yeah, like a week until part 3, Cell Max comes out with the Vegito EZA, with the Bootanks EZA, both dropping during that part 3 on JP, and Global already having those. What else is there for Global to be doing in the meantime? We have the Beerus story event. We'll probably have the Beerus EZA. What else would we be getting at the same time? Oh, there's nothing else that it shows here? I mean, look at that. Look at how close it is. Part 3, like the part EX starts, and then the next day, the First Form Frieza teaser drops. So there could be some overlap, is what I'm basically trying to say. There could be some overlap happening for Global in this portion of the 9th anniversary. After all of the new banners drop, after most of the content were to drop on the 9th anniversary, maybe the part 3 ends up being sort of a blend of the tail end of the 9th anniversary and then maybe the start of the Trap celebration. Could they shoehorn in an extra banner between 9th anniversary and the Trap Dokkan Festival? Or would the Trap itself be the Cell Max banner? There's no way of knowing right now, but that's kind of where the mindset is when it comes to this tweet. So it is possible. You know, I wouldn't bet on it. Like I said, like I've been saying, I've given up on like expecting any sort of banner shenanigans. When it comes to global catching up, they are catching up on the content, not the banners. The banners will eventually fall into place. And so this is like my new mantra when it comes to looking at banners. Global will eventually have all of the characters that global should be getting. It just won't happen on the first banner. It will likely happen on the returning banner. So Cellmax, for example, global gets Ginyu, Cellmax drops on JP. Cellmax could then end up being a throwaway featured character on maybe the LR banner that drops in here. What if the LR banner is the Tanabata banner or something like that? You know, just as an example. Or maybe worldwide download, one of the Carnival LRs that drops there. You got the Carnival headliner, and then one of the features for global will be Cellmax. JP would also get it, maybe, or maybe JP gets something different. But then that would be like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we got double the new characters on this banner. Let me jump on that. So that will drop that will be a global scenario for a couple of banners. And then before you know it, we get to 10th anniversary and global and JP are fully on the same page. That's like what could maybe work. Whatever happens, I'm gonna go with the flow. It's all good. It's totally fine. You know, it's not going to be an issue for us. Broly is the more important get. So back to global. All right, whatever we end up getting, which will probably be this guy, keep your focus set on the 9th anniversary. Even if it's Cellmax, you still want the Broly before you get the Cellmax. Otherwise, you can't run him at 200%, and that's probably more important. Cellmax is likely going to be a luxury legendary summon, a pity summon, right? I don't think at this time, did JP? Yeah, so this time last year, JP got Turles, I think, as their Dokkan Festival that dropped while Global was in the pre-9 year. So while Global had Hellfighter 17, I'm pretty sure JP had Turles as part 1, and then Spirit Bomb Goku for part 2. I'm pretty sure that was not a Carnival. And by that point, we already had started the Carnival LRs. So yeah, totally. There you go. So that is the situation when it comes to the upcoming part 2 LR. Let's wait and see what they reveal in terms of Global's hint and when they actually reveal the unit details for the upcoming JP part 2. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Dokkan Global versus JP situation with Cellmax. Should Global receive Cellmax at the same time? Would you summon? Would you not summon? Do you agree that maybe Ginyu just dropping is the bigger W for Global? What other conceivable theories could you have for that hint with the little pool thing? And what are your ideas for when Cellmax could actually drop on Global? Do you buy into this like part EX theory? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let each know you're going to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.